what are my members' concern, and then what are my members' problem or challenges that you face. Then I can see how we can help you, right?
I think for maybe how to find out what's your dog allergies, or and how do you know what's the right nutrition maybe ratio to give to your pet?
Okay. Okay, I think it's a good topic. Well, the thing is, generally, I'm gonna start sharing anyway because we have to start on time and end on time, hopefully. So I'll start sharing no matter how. 其他两个人，如果你不明白英语的话，你就 type 在chat room 里面。如果我是需要用华语再跟你解释多一次的话，I'm fine too. Okay， 我也是 OK。So Bernice, to your question, right? How to find out what is your dog allergy to? It's a very wide topic. Now, why so? Because generally, allergy you can mainly divide into two main groups. One is about food allergy, meaning what the dog ingests, what they eat. Most of the time is protein-based, which kind of protein or wheat that they are allergic to, which kind of food that they are allergic to. Then there's another big chunk of it, like 60-70% of the time, is actually the environmental allergy. Environmental allergies such as fur mites, bed mites, fungus, other dogs and cats' hair. Even I have patients that allergy to cotton, wool, ants, mosquitoes, this kind of things or creatures. So the problem is environmental allergy. It's a lot more difficult to overcome. Why so? Because when you talk about environmental allergy, you are now talking about whatever that the animal exposed to, right, Angela? Hi, Angela. So whatever that your pets is exposed to. So for example, when they are allergic to, let's say a fungus, or let's say another cat's hair, the cat's hair that comes to them, or spores that actually comes to them, actually cause the irritation. So then the body will have a cascade of activity that will be happening. So meaning to say that when it first happened, the skin will react to this allergen that comes in with the protein, and then a cascade of things will happen. Then you will have all this redness, irritation. Then the redness and irritation cause itchiness. So when they start itchy, they scratch, and then there will be break of skin. After the break of skin, then it will be whatever that you all see later on, which is the bacterial infection and the fungal infection. So a lot of time when the owner realize something is not right, then they already have very bad smells on the skin. For example, malassezia, they see ringworm, they see eczema, they see pyoderma, all this kind of skin problem before they actually come and see a vet. So from the time that they have the reaction of the allergy to the time that they actually develop all this skin issue, it might take a few days to a few weeks, right? So the two main issue, the two main allergen, one is the environment, right? Like I told you, it's including, we also can actually categorize in a few things. One is like environmental pollen. Second is insect then it's like dust. That means dirt or dust. So all of this, if you want to reduce the reaction to this allergy, right? There is only a few things that you can do. One is that what we vets always do, we give medication like antihistamine, steroids, and all that. Now you can see you have drugs like Apoquel, you have drugs like Cytopoint that you give injection to. What it does is it actually helps to break the cycle, break the cascade, like I told you just now, the changes at the cascade. So once you give this medication, it kind of stops the reaction. So when it stops the reaction, the itchiness stop, the redness stop. So then you will see that, oh, okay, my dog is getting better. But the problem is the allergen is still there. So once every single time you will feel like when you stop the medication, the skin problem come back again. To be very frank, you have never really cure the problem. You're actually just suppressing the symptoms because you use the drug to stop the reaction in each cascade. That's all. Okay. So the real reason of how you can actually help your animal to or your dogs to be better is that you identify the allergen and then remove the allergen from there. So for example, if you found out that, okay, your dog is allergic to this cat fur, then prevent him from going out and mingle with the cats. Say, for example, that's one of it. Second is, let's say, fur mites. Then what you do, you either change the bed or you actually use some cleaners or vacuums to actually take away the fur mites or the bed mites or the dust mite. Okay. So after this big group of allergen, right, this is usually what we call atopic dermatitis. Atopic dermatitis is very frequently happen in Shih Tzus, sometimes poodles. There are many dog breeds, even local dogs can have atopic dermatitis. Okay, now how do you know whether your dog is actually in this category of atopic dermatitis? It's when we say atopic dermatitis is because all of this reaction will be reacting to the environmental allergen, like all the pollen and things that I told you just now. So first criteria, there's no one way to test it. There's no one test kit that tests, oh, okay, my dog has atopic dermatitis. No, there's no one way of doing it. It's a series of criteria. Number one, usually it happens, the itchiness and the symptoms come in before 3 years old. Okay, so the first thing first is you want to know that, oh, whether my dog is just food allergy or is having this atopic dermatitis, is to see whether the symptoms come in, the first ever symptoms come in 3 years old or less. Okay. Second, it's itchiness. It will be intense itch most of the time. Okay. And then third is you have to try to eliminate the diagnosis of other parasite like scabies, like Demodex, like other pyoderma. So if you can get rid of these ticks, fleas, mites, scabies, all of this is being ruled out. Then another one is respond to steroid. Okay, if the itch is responding to steroid, that's also one of the main criteria of knowing your dog is having atopic dermatitis. All right, so usually there is a way of kind of treating it, not really to cure it, to treat and to maintain it, is that other than all the drugs that you're using, that's a way called desensitization. Okay, it's not very popular in Malaysia. It's probably more popular in other country. Why is it not popular in Malaysia? Is because it's very expensive and it's very tedious. Okay, so in other countries, sometimes they just put in the allergy test, so they have skin allergy test and all that. So now we do have the saliva test and also the blood test. So once you know what kind of things that your dog is allergic to, then let's say it's allergy to pollen, let's say it's allergy to wool, let's say it's allergy to mosquito, okay, so, and fungus. So I take all this allergen and make into very small dose, and then we inject it back or feed them. Feeding in medication or in oral dose, right? We realize that it's not very effective. The one that actually give on injection is quite effective. So what we do is we exposing them to this low dose of allergen. So then the body kind of get used to this low dose of allergen. So then they keep the allergy level only to the minimum. Okay, that's called desensitization. Other than that, all other things that we use, it's the drug lah. So not recently, I mean, within this 2 years, we also exploring into one thing, is also quite new. In Malaysia, I think no one actually brought it in Malaysia yet. I kind of buy it a few times from US, and then after that, I got my client to buy it from US through their own website. It's called the animal biome. I don't know whether you heard of biome. Biome is actually the poo-poo from very healthy dog. So they use this dog poo-poo that is very healthy, or cat poo-poo that is very healthy, and actually process it, making it like a potent probiotic kind of thing to give it to your dog, to kind of like ingest it, so that it regulate the ingestions and the way they how to explain to you. It's quite a new idea. So they use this, in a very layman term, is that they use this poo-poo to make it as a probiotic. So like how you have it in the market, like a lot of probiotic can help improve skin issue. So this is how it is, and it actually they realize with better gut health, with better gut absorption and gut health, better gut flora, it actually makes the skin better, because then they react lesser to the allergen. Okay. After talking so long, on 15 minutes, we're only talking about atopic dermatitis and environmental allergen. Okay. So for the food wise, right, to be very frank, those that really purely allergy to only food, it's less than about 30%, less than that. Many of them are combination. Some of them are purely just for environment. And then only 20-30% it's food. That's the reason why I'm only telling you now. Because when you say food allergy, then it comes into what kind of food, right? So it's either, so now everyone thinks that their dog is allergic to chicken. So all the pet shop, everyone in Malaysia will tell you that, okay, chicken, very much allergy, don't feed chicken, okay? Feed fish, salmon is good. I want to tell you the trend for these past 5 years is that all the allergen tests that I do, the expensive allergen tests that cost 1,000 over ringgit, the result all come back, most of it are allergy to salmon and fishes. Okay, tuna, salmon, fishes, prawns, seafood. Why? Because the animal is then now starting to be exposed to all of these other protein. So the more they're exposed to this, the more reaction they get into this. Okay, we rather now seeing less allergy to pork, to chickens. Okay, so other than that, what else can they allergy to? The rice they can allergy to. This is out of just the experience that we are doing the allergy test, right? This is one of it. And then carrot, one of it. Rice is part of it, and sometimes sweet potatoes. So we can't tell. Soya is also one of it. So wait, Angela, let me finish this, then I'll come back to you. So then the reason of how this reaction work is that, let's say they're allergic to fishes and chickens, fishes and all that, right? So they are not allergic to chicken and beef. So now what you do is you stop feeding the fishes, then you feed chicken and beef, or chicken and pork, or chicken and beef, whatever it is. Then after you expose them to these different protein, after about 1 or 2 years, they will develop allergy towards the chicken and beef. And then the allergen towards the salmon and all that might be coming down lesser. So this is how our body, I mean the doggy's body or the cat body, is reacting towards the allergen. Okay, that's how it works. So how do you know whether your cat or dog is actually allergic to that particular food? Is that you need to expose it to know that whether they are allergic or not. Okay, very sad. So, but once you expose to it, usually within a few hours to maximum 2 to 5 days, you should be able to see them, scratching a bit more and all that. Unless their allergen level is very low, then it will take longer time, or the symptoms will be so mild that you don't really feel it. Then you only feel it after they're scratching too much, and then you only feel it when the fungus and the bacteria come in. All right, then most of the time might be too late. Then what you guys will be doing is that starting the medication, and most of the time they will be long-term on either steroid or even things like Apoquel, things like that. Okay, so okay, Angela, you want to say something? Bernice, I hope I answer your question. If you still don't understand, you can actually write down your question again.
Yeah, that was helpful. Quite interesting also.
Right.
Yes. Thank you very much. I wanted to find out from you, you know that ProBalance has brought out dry food, which is the black soldier fly larva as a protein base instead of having any meat, which might work also for, I mean, in the context of allergies also. What are your thoughts about this? I mean, I have attended the sessions, human sessions, right, about nutrition. I have a nutrition background where actually, I mean, we can eat those because it's a fantastic source of protein. What are your thoughts about feeding, I mean, using it as kibbles instead of the usual food?
Okay, thanks, Angela. So that is just another way of giving different kind of protein. That's all. So it's something like when you think chicken is allergy, you give fishes, and you think fishes is allergy, you give mutton, and then now you're changing to insect protein and other proteins. So before all this, the Australian will be giving kangaroo meats and all that. Rabbit, they used to use rabbit meat. So it's just about diversing a different kind of protein. But bear in mind that other than protein, other things like rice, wheat, soy, it's also very high in allergy sometimes, especially you expose them a bit more, then they develop more allergy towards it.
Yeah. Okay, thank you very much.
Great.
I just wanted to know whether it's because I would like to try it out, see whether it works because I have one dog that is allergic to chicken and beef, and I was feeding her ProBalance either fish or lamb, and now they came up with that one, which is also price-wise a lot cheaper. Gosh, it's so much. 20 kilos is 140 ringgit.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a huge price difference. So, and so I was wondering, I
See
was
whether it's worth
contemplating,
trying.
yes, I was contemplating, we were actually a few friends of ours, because, you know, to buy 20 kilos and then it's rots because your dogs don't eat it or it doesn't work. So we are a few people, we buy one sack together to see whether it works. But I just wanted your general opinion about this as a source of protein instead of the usual kibbles, where I must also say, you know, there are kibbles and kibbles, right? Because some kibbles, when you read the labels, I'm a label reader, right? Because, you know, when you do nutrition, goodness,
So
it
kibbles,
has flavor, chicken flavor. So is it really chicken or is it just some chicken, you
with
know?
carbs, yeah. So that is also something as a consumer you should pay attention to.
Yeah.
Because why some people say, oh, raw food is better than kibbles. It's just because when you make up kibbles, you still need the flour and all the other things to make it. So the flour and all that could be wheat, could be soy and stuff. So your dog might not be allergic to chicken. Your dog might be allergic to wheat or soy that make up the kibble. Okay, that's
Exactly.
number one.
Exactly.
So that is why some people would think that, oh, the raw food works because then you actually eliminate.
Yes, all those other ingredients which you, that's why it's so important. I mean, for us human, it's important to read labels, but we should also read the labels of the dog food, because sometimes they take things out, but they put other things in where you're like, seriously. I mean, also for a dog, anything with E something and a number is normally not what they should eat. Anything with ease is not good. It's
So
chemical.
there are many times I've been asked whether either raw food is good or cooked food is good. I want to share with you guys my thought. Cooked food comparatively from cooked food to processed food is definitely better of cooked food, right? But to make a very well-balanced diet on cooked food is not easy.
Yeah.
So you have to look into how much of carbs, how much of protein, how much of veg that you put in with the fiber, with multivitamin and all that. And for us, Asian being Asian or whoever, human being human, it's always the convenience that comes in.
Yes.
So unless you can actually make the recipe that actually works for your pet, you know, the ingredient that works for them, the calorie level that works for them, the proportion of nutrition that good for them, and then you put in the multivitamin and stuff like that, omega oil that is good for them, then you pack it into okay. So what I did for my dog when he has cancer, when he was, you know, much older than, is that I make this packet of food, and then I can't be cooking every single day. So I cook one time for 2 weeks supply, and then I put it in the freezer.
Yeah, same here.
Just take out whenever I just heat it up, put the multivitamin, put the omega oil, and there it is, right? Yeah. Raw food, it's good is also because of, if your storage is good, it is because they have none of these other things that makes up the kibble.
Yes.
That is why that is more natural. That's all. So make sure if you really are opting for raw food or cooked food, right? Now I know a lot of other brands that are coming into cooked food. You must be very careful on looking into the percentage. Some people, some pet nutritionists even come up and started to teach how to make proper nutrition diet. So I think it's always good to look into different or read from different person, and especially go into good website like the university website, the Wasaba. Wasaba is the world's small animal veterinary association website, to check on their nutritional information. Instead of just a hearsay, or instead of just so and so that put up the blog. All right. So even whatever that I say is either my opinion, or if I read it somewhere, I'll tell you that, statistics show this. So it's good to always look into those before you actually start cooking for your pet, right?
Yeah, thank you.
Great. Atopic dermatitis, I put it here for everybody, is the one that I actually talked to you guys about. And atopic dermatitis has one funny fact, is that it has a very similar pattern of a food allergy. So you always see the redness around the eye, the muzzle, the ear, the armpit, the inguinal. The inguinal is where the belly, the lower belly, and the paw. If you do see your dogs having these few areas that is affected, do look into atopic dermatitis. Okay. All right. We spent half an hour talking about skin. Yeah. Come, ask me more about other things. Actually, before coming into this class, I was telling Fiona, I said, today I'm going to be alone in the class. No one will come to the class because no one asked question no one actually posed any question. Come, TC, come. Ask me question.
No question to ask today.
Hi.
I'm dinner outside actually.
Oh, dinner outside. Wow, dinner outside also supporters. Not bad, not bad. Right, Angela?
I have another question, though, a completely different context. I adopted from the SPCA. I adopted a cat when he was 4 or 5 months old. His lower back, he's handicapped. I mean, he doesn't feel pain. He can't walk. So I have to wash him 3 times a day and change his diapers, etc. But I let him clean himself. I let it dry every time after I washed him because, putting them back in diapers, humid, it's like kids, right? I mean, they get rashes, right? So I always, after I wash him, I leave him I put him in a cage, and then I also want to encourage him to still continue cleaning himself because he doesn't feel when he poops or pees, right? So all his pain, he doesn't have a feeling of pain. So it's very dangerous for him to climb on something because when he climbs up, he jumps down. He doesn't realize, he could actually break his hind legs, right? So, but I see when he's lying down that one of his legs is shaking. So there is still some muscle movement, right? So, I wanted to find out what would you advise as first steps, because I don't want to do 150,000 tests and spend a lot of money, and everybody's telling you what to do. So I was wondering, what would you advise is a first step to do to find out whether there is still something that can be saved? He doesn't understand that he's handicapped, right? Because he's been like that apparently all his life. They got him when he was 1 month old. He was like that already.
Now the cat is about 4 or 5 months old.
No, he was 4 to 5 months old when I adopted him, which was about 3 months ago.
Ah, so what are the things that you have done to check whether?
For the time being, not a lot, because I've been traveling a lot, and I have a deal with the SPCA that they take care of him when I travel because, he needs special care. You can't like my helper can feed my dogs and my cats when I'm not around. She lives in, but to put the burden of cleaning a cat poo-poo and wash and everything is not fair. So that's my responsibility. But when I travel, I leave him at the SPCA because then they take care of him, right? So because they know him since he's a baby. So so for the timing, I haven't done a lot. So that's why I want to take action now. And I was wondering what would be step 1 to who should I see? What would you recommend for me to do as step 1?
Where are you from? Where do you live?
I live in Malaysia, in Ampang.
Okay. So first of all, is that you really need to know what's the injury that is causing that.
Yes, exactly.
So whether it's a real fracture or it's not. All right. To be very frank with you, we have lost all the time that we are supposed to be very good, to do something about the leg. I know everyone, when they see the back leg not moving, they kind of give up because they think that, they will be handicapped. So actually that's the time when accident happen, or especially because when they're younger, like you say 1 or 2 months old, we want to see how bad the injury is, how much does it actually torn. And then even though it's kind of like very severely injured, at that point of time, you can do a lot of rehab work to see whether we can actually at least retrieve something. I would say it's still worth a try, because now I think it's about 7, 8 months old. I think it's still worth the try.
Yeah.
Probably what you need to do is, number one, just a simple x-ray first to see how bad the so-called injury is. If it is like, let's say the spine is already like that, then you probably, have not much of a chance. But let's say if the spine is just like that, and with some tests that we run, as in like pinching, letting him stand and all that, just physical examination, proper neuro exam, then we'll be able to tell you that, whether it's worth a try. Then with all the physio exercise and all that, for a cat, I don't think it's gonna, anyway, you're going to clean her, right? So when you're cleaning her, we're going to teach you to do some of the exercise and physiotherapy, at home. And then you kind of start to stimulate them. So for example, if it's just like that, we're going to give you some exercise to let them feel that, oh, okay, I actually have leg. So there are certain exercise like that we will, teach you to do, that he will know, like, oh, but one day you probably have to do 3 to 4 times, like 3 to 4 times of probably like few hours interval, to let him or her know that, I still have my legs. Okay? So that's number one. Second thing, the shaking stuff that you say might not be voluntary.
Yeah.
So we can't say yes or no.
Fasten, right?
But if you're in Ampang, I think you're talking to the right person. Even though I'm not certified yet, I'm into rehab. So we have a little bit more knowledge on making all this exercise regime to help paralyzed animal. So maybe we can set a day to see you.
Okay, I can contact you then.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
I think, yeah. I mean, it will be coming up to be holiday, but I would want to see you, and then we want to see whether can do something for the kitten. We have a dog that actually having almost like that.
Yeah.
And now the dog is walking.
Okay.
Not perfect. He's still like,
exactly.
But he's able to run on the field. So initially it was just a lot of, I think that guy took us about half a year.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, cool. Okay.
So,
yeah, I'll get in contact with you on that. Perfect. Thank you so much.
No problem. Okay. No more? You have like 20 more minutes. Angela Trump. There's two Angela. I just realized. 我记得这个 Angela 是讲华语的吗？ I can't remember. I think it's a cat. It's a cat friend, right, Angela? 还是你是那只大只 local dog 的 owner? Okay. No more question? If no more question, I will want to probably share with you all something as well on a little bit of psychological information on how you can actually help you yourself and your other friends to be able to communicate with your pets or other pets better. Okay, so the story is I've actually just adopted a pom, a beautiful pom. Yeah, everyone thought that I bought the pom. So yeah, I tell them I won't, but this client was so funny. When she wants me to adopt this dog, she was like, I see you can sell it. Come on, it's at least worth a few thousand ringgit. Why do you want to give it to me? It's like, no, I want to give it to you because he start biting other dog, start, peeing all over the house, fighting for food, doing all the nonsense that they can't keep him in that house anymore. They have 3 puppies and then 5 senior dog and 2 adults. I don't see them as a group of people that don't love dogs, but I think they just couldn't do anything to the dog anymore because I think they can't manage him. So they're very smart because they know that Chelsea passed. Chelsea's my 22 years old cat at that point of time, end of October. So they say to me, just take this guy. So after we took him, actually on the first day itself, he can actually stay still for us to say the grace before he eats the food. All right. So that's one thing that for a dog that actually fighting for food and will attack food whenever food being served, to a dog in just few hours, to be able to sit still for almost 30 seconds to a minute before we say eat, right? So that's already amazing, meaning to say that it's just about being fully being given full attention to this creature, right? So then after that, very sadly, my father-in-law also has a problem and then pass on. So we have been traveling to Seremban and come and back. So then within these 2 weeks, I wasn't really with him. So from a dog that really good, know where to pee, where to poo and all that, when I come back, he was peeing and pooing all over the place, and he chose the area like behind the sofa, next to my husband's bed, like on the side of my husband's bed, and all that. Then I thought, oh shoot, I lost this. I lost this as in I lost not able to train him to the right place anymore because we tried to keep asking him to go to the same place, we can't. So then I got very frustrated. I started wanted to punish him. And long story short is that at the end of the day, it's a lot of repetition, a lot of talking, a lot of communicating, a lot of bringing him and doing positive reinforcement. Just within 2 to 3 days, he can actually go back to where he's supposed to pee and poo. So the point that I want to share with you guys is that whether it's a cat or a dog, they just need a lot of communication and attention. So if you really want to be, your dog listen to you or even get better or show you that they are not well, you always pay attention to them and attend to them, right? TC 真的没有no question. Angela, Bernice, Ling Yi, you are the first person who come in just now. Do you have anything to ask me? No? Anything about did all of you follow the Insta that we do? Is it good? I started to do some short videos. I would say it's good if you guys can let me know what kind of topic that is beneficial to you all, right? So yeah, we're gonna look at each other and not talking. What else that okay, maybe since you guys have no question, then I want to share with Angela about talking about the nerve severity of the nerve and how the brain actually work to control the front leg and the back leg. So that's one thing called the upper motor neuron sign. Upper motor neuron sign meaning to say that when you touch the back leg and if it reacted very badly, that's called the upper motor neuron sign. So when you pinch the leg, if it's just doing that withdrawal, meaning it's a local issue. Okay. If suddenly the cat or dog just doing that very hard shake when you touch it, it's overreacting to you, meaning it's called the upper motor neuron problem. Meaning to say that upper motor neuron means the nerve that is from the back travel to the brain and come down. Okay, that's called upper motor neuron, meaning it comes up to the brain and goes down. Okay, so if we want to know that whether which part of it is injured, then you can actually look into the pee and poo area, that whether he actually get control of, right? So meaning the poo-poo area, the anus, whether the anal has anal tone. Anal tone meaning like our anus, it is actually always tight. If you see the anus is not tight, meaning there's no anal tone, right? And then if the muscle is very, it is a bit wasted already, meaning you see the muscle is very, very small, then what you can do, starting even from now, before you even see me, is to just do what we call passive range of motion. I'll go and get a cat and show you, okay, so that you can start doing. Yes. Yes. Can they see you? They can't. They can see. Cannot. Oh, okay. So this is the leg.
Mhm.
Okay. So when you press it down, you see my finger. You
Yeah.
put one finger here at the paw. When
Yeah.
you stand it on the floor, you press it this way.
Okay. Okay.
So then he will know that he is stepping on the floor, right? Wait, just for a little while, okay?
Oh, poor
Okay.
thing. I'm so sorry, darling.
No. Just a massage. So you pull all the way down
Yeah.
and then you push all the way up.
Okay.
So this is how you actually work on this muscle,
Okay.
right? And then one last bit. And then you know how we do cycling.
Mhm.
Okay, so this is how we do cycling, right? So to the front, to the back,
Mhm.
and then push the front to the back. So when you do it, you always put, I know, you don't even feel painful, right? Okay, I know. Just show Angela a little bit more, then we can. So this is the knee joint. You have to push the knee joint and then
Okay.
push it up. And then you want this to be straight, you have to push it.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
But when you do it with her lying down, right? So when you do it with her lying down. So you just push like that, push.
Okay.
Down. Then after that, doing that range of motion, right? And the most important thing is that you actually support the back like that
Mhm.
on the table, on the floor. Okay,
Mhm.
support the back, and then do that pressing.
Okay.
So you just stand on the table or the floor, do that and press it, do and press. So then they know they're stepping.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Try that 3 times a day. Start with maybe 20 to 30 push, 20 to 30 step per
Mhm.
time. And
Okay.
then if it is very, very stiff, then you start with 5.
Okay.
If it's not stiff, it's easy, then you do about 20. And
Okay.
then you,
Yeah, sure. No, don't go from first gear to the 5th gear. Just slowly build up and see what is possible and not overdo it, right?
yes. So if it is very, if someone that has upper motor neuron, right, they will always have very straight back leg.
Yeah.
So instead of they have that kind of back leg, they always have very straight back leg. So
Yeah.
for you to push it down, it might not be easy. So you always want to put one of your hand at the knee area and then slowly push it in. So if you put him at the side, it will be very easy to push in. All right.
Okay, cool.
Great.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
No problem. Ling Yi, you have dog or cat? Tell me. Ling Yi actually is the first person who comes in at night.
Hi.
Hi.
I actually back in my hometown I have dog and cats also.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So very difficult when I ask you whether you're a dog person or cat person.
yeah,
Can you choose
definitely.
one?
But now I'm working with TC, so it's a cat hotel, so both I face cats all the time. For now,
Mm.
yeah.
So for cat, what is the most common thing that you see in your cat boarding? I'm sure now Raya, I mean just after Raya and holiday, you have like so many cats that you see, right?
Yeah.
What is the most common thing that you see? That
Most
you think, yeah.
most common I think would be like for me the kibbles.
Mm.
Yeah, that's all. During the
They
Raya
vomit
season.
the kibble.
Yeah.
Right. So usually you prepare, they eat the kibbles that you provide, or the owner bring their own kibble?
Some is provided by us, some is like the owners bring their own kibbles.
Always encourage the owner to bring their own kibble. Okay.
All right.
That's number one. Because you have to explain to the owner a sudden change of food or a sudden change of diet might cause vomiting and diarrhea. So as a pet hotel, you always tell the owner that it's good for you to bring in the food. So sometimes the owner will feel like, hey, I'm going to a pet hotel, you're supposed to provide the food, right? But when you actually explain to them that way, you just tell them that the food doesn't cost much, but it's always good for them to bring. So for example, if they really things like, I don't want to lose out that I use all my cat food, all right? I also want to get my cat to eat eat your cat food, right? So then ask them to bring some, like a container, a small container, so that you can slowly mix in the kibble that you want to introduce to them, all right? But it's always good. I don't think the cat owner will mind that little bit of money to actually change the food lah. To also educate them, like if you change the food and if they don't digest properly, they have vomiting and diarrhea, it will be bad because we then need to send to the vet, and then it will cost more money than just bringing the cat food or dog food. And because when they come to the cat hotel, they themselves are already feeling stressed. Feeling stressed meaning like human, right? They will have a lot more gastric juice production. Okay, so like when you have more gastric juice production, meaning they easily get hungry, and because they're so scared, they're hungry and they don't want to eat. So that's how the regurgitation or the vomiting comes in. All right. So this is something that you can always start to tell. One question: how to increase red blood cell in feline for those with high range of white blood cell? I don't really understand what you're asking. Do you want to off the mic? I mean, turn on the mic and talk to me. 华语也是可以. Then later I will just translate it for Angela and others. 来 Angela. Cannot hear you. Okay, let me try to answer and see whether is that what you really meant. You mean that this particular cat has high white blood cell but low red blood cell, right? Is that what you mean? Okay, good. It's all right. So you just say yes or no when I ask you question, right? So now you have to understand high white blood cell and low red blood cell might not be the same problem. Okay. So that's one of the very common reason why your cat has low red blood cell and high white blood cell. One of the very main reason or very common reason is that the cat have very bad infection. Okay. One of the very bad infection that causes the red blood cell to die or to be lower or to anemic or to become anemic is the blood parasite called mycoplasma. Okay. A cat has blood parasite like human has dengue. Not really like dengue, but blood parasite. So when the red blood cell have blood parasite, then the body see that, oh, this red blood cell have blood parasite. So what they do? They bring to wherever it's supposed to be and break it. Because the red cell have parasite is something not good for the body. So what they do is the body wants to destroy the cell. So when they are doing that, they are reacting to it. So how they actually reacting to this is like, because to fight the infection, they have to increase more white blood cell. Why they increase more white blood cell is, white blood cell is like the soldier of the body, right? So there is something that attacking the red blood cell. So the white blood cell will start growing to fight. All right. So that's one of the main reason, one of the most common reason I would say that your cat has very low red blood cell, and then with high range of white blood cells. So what you need to do is that we do a blood smear to see whether the red cell have parasite, number one. Number two, to find out why other reason that there's infection that cause the white blood cell to be high. Okay, there are some cases that makes the white blood cell very high. The infection is so bad that the cat become anemic. But the most common one is like I told you, the blood parasite. So to find out, that means to diagnose it properly, whether it's really because of that. If it is, then give the medication to kill the parasite. And then second, to stop, we have to stop the blood cell from killing themselves, right? So we have to give the parasite medication. We have to give something for the red blood cell to come out faster. So you can actually, depends on what it is, you can use iron, you can use B complexes. You can actually, in certain cases of, let's say, kidney issue, that they cannot really produce red blood cell, we can actually use hormone to kind of like stimulate the bone marrow to make red blood cell. Okay, there's another reason why the blood cell is too low is because of very, very bad kidney infection. It can do that as well. So the kidney infection is so bad that the kidney fail to give the hormone to stimulate, to come up with the hormone to stimulate the blood cell production in the bone marrow. So imagine the kidney is the person who actually put in the order. Okay, and the bone marrow is like a factory. So I only get order, then I will make the blood cell. Then after the factory make the blood cell, then they push it out to the blood vessels, becoming the red blood cell. All right. So if the hormone from the kidney doesn't give order to the bone marrow wouldn't make the red blood cell. Okay, make sense or not? Angela looks very confused. So that's how simple terms to tell us how we actually that is why sometimes they say like, hey, you need the donation of bone marrow because you know it doesn't make red blood cell enough. So then they donate the bone marrow. Sometimes it's if the bone marrow is not working, meaning the factory is not working. Right. So Angela, you get your answer? Great. Angela say understood. Okay, thank you so much for your time. Beside infection and CKD issue, what about FELV? Oh yeah, yes, FELV case is also a very critical reason. Okay, for FELV cases that cause the red cell to be very low, it needs to be very, very kind of end stage of it already. Yes, in FELV cases, we do have problem with the red cell. And because of the FELV cases, right, these are the cases that the bone marrow wouldn't really work on anymore. So in FELV cases, you probably need to, FELV and sometimes FIV cases, you actually have to keep donating blood to this cat to keep them alive. Yeah. That's also one of the, so in FELV cases, we do have some cases that respond to antiviral. It wouldn't work when it's the last stage of the case lah. But you know, say in not the last stage of the case, we probably still have maybe about 50 to 60% of cases are actually responding to antiviral. But this antiviral also similar antiviral that we use for FIV cases. Okay, but all of this is just to make sure the viral level is not that high in the blood. So then we drag on the longer good time. So eventually they will still come into this stage of the blood not being able to generate properly, and then they come into this anemic cycle, right? So Angela, if you ask me this case, meaning to say that your cat has FELV lah. Nah, just now I asked you to come, you don't want to come, now you want to come. He got bored down there. Okay. Great. Thank you for your time. And yeah, I really want you guys to make good use of this. So anything that you guys want to know beforehand, I can even, you know, get more statistic if you can give me the question earlier. Then I can do more research and then give you more of the proper statistic. Now I'm plucking statistic from whatever that I read. We are reading papers like all the time. As a vet, we have to keep reading to upgrade whatever that we have. So yeah, if you give me time beforehand, I can even, you know, write it down for you, like, you know, which article that I'm getting it from. Then you guys can actually read more about it. Great. Good seeing all of you. We have quite many members, but it's always only you guys that come. You guys the one that really love learning. Thank you so much for your time. We'll see you again probably in June. In June, we'll be seeing you again.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Angela. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye. Bye-bye. Good night.